There we are. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. We are back to Burden of Command. Boom. And this is a continuation of our attack on the city of Casablanca in Morocco, where with Nickel Company, the cheese-eating surrender monkeys thought they could really hand it to us by showing up with armor, but the French made a serious mistake in showing up and planting their tank right next to a hidden squad that we had right next to the road. So we just, first platoon, I think it was first squadron, just took down the tank and then took out an anti-aircraft gun besides while they were at it. Those guys are due for some serious promotions and commendations when they get home. That's all I'm going to say. All right. Well, with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. No worries, no fuss, no muss there, I don't think. Like for the first time, also for the first time ever, I'm trying to actually do I'm actually trying to do this. Here, let's just get moving here. Continue here. The 4 Fs of war: find, fix, suppress, flank, fix, flank, and finish. This is like dodgeball or something here. That's great. Seems to be taking. There we are. All right. All right, most excellent. Here we go. All right, so we had just ended up the turn. Let me move this over a little bit here. We just ended up the turn. Yeah, there's the smoldering ruins of that wrecked anti-aircraft gun. That's awesome. Now, the French do have another tank sitting right there. I'm wondering, can our steward actually see him or hit him? Yes, he can, and they're flanked. Wow. Oh, that is so nice. Good thing we sent that one tank straight down the road, huh? I mean, I say that now. We'll see. Second squad, second platoon. First squad, first platoon. How are they doing here? So we're actually in position, I think, because we have Captain St. John, who is my character in this quasi-RPG that we're playing. Captain St. John is here. He can move forward, team up with first squad, and just move them right into the secondary objective, which would be awesome. He'll bolster them and get them going. Do they have any problems here? Nope, no suppression. Good, good, good. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Sergeant Grant, whatever we're calling him nowadays, he doesn't even have a portrait for some reason. He's acting lieutenant. And his men... Actually, no, Dearborn. Lieutenant Dearborn can just walk right into the walled compound, take that down, and maybe we'll... Actually, let me pause here. The tanks can blast those guys. Dearborn's men... What the heck? I just wanted to usually get it. There we go. Yeah, Dearborn's men could make it over there, so that's good. So maybe we'll have Dearborn rally his men. The tanks will blast this cav squad out a little bit. Oh, no, block the LOS, really? No, the tanks will blast the cav squad. Dearborn will move in and attack them. And... not sure what I'm going to do with some of these guys back here with Lieutenant, with Sergeant Grant's first platoon, and there's a squad from Lieutenant Wilson's group. I'm splitting these guys up, which is probably not what you're supposed to do, but the reality is that I'm just plugging in whoever happens to be available and whoever has enough orders to send them in. I actually don't know if that's really how you should be doing this. It seems like you should be keeping your men together a little better, or I should be doing that. But hey, that's the kind of fight this is, and it's working for me so far, so I'm just going to stick with that. Lieutenant Wilson is here. Yes, like 2 of Lieutenant Wilson's squads are focused on the tank, and these guys here. These guys could shoot up. Like, if we can do some serious damage with the tank... Lieutenant Wilson, can he make a run for his men there?
Stay down.
The answer is no. He's not going to be able to make it there in one move. Oh, and then Lieutenant Dearborn's soldiers. They can keep firing on this Cav squad, which will be fine. If the Stewart, I don't know, will the tank destroy the tank? They better darn well be able to take down this tank, especially flanked, just shooting him up from here, right? So what I figure is this: the tank will hit those guys, keep them distracted. Lieutenant Wilson's second squads will shoot those guys in the flank, and the reason I want to have them shoot him in the flank is because they have a bit of suppression, and I don't think. Yeah, I mean, they're okay. They'll be able to do something. The key is they're just going to distract those guys. Wilson will come in with his men right here. He'll bolster these guys, who I don't think they have any... Yeah, they don't have any suppression at all, neither does he. So they'll walk in and they'll just smash, acting French lieutenant over here. Hopefully the Stewart will keep those guys busy there, and we'll just keep pressing on. In the meantime... Captain will team up with first squad, and he can push up into the secondary objective, while Dearborn overcomes the next obstacle here. And they'll have a moment to breathe and regroup as they keep pressing on to this primary objective down here. So we'll see. That will be... Capture 1 objective, 2 objective, 3. I mean, that'll give us... That'll boom, give us 2 objectives, and we'll already be at draw at that point, so that'll be great.
Get the BAR up here.
That'll be great.
Move up.
And then 3 objective. We'll have 3 objectives soon. I mean, obviously this one will be required, and then 4. Yeah, we'll. I think we're doing pretty well right now. I think we'll be in a good position to smash the French and get us to a victory here. So let us continue. I wonder what I should do first. I think, you know what? I want to. This armor is concerning me, so we're going to deal with that first. Now that said. I'm actually going to start with Lieutenant Stern. No. We're going to start with the Stewarts. We're going to start with the Stewarts here. Come on, Stewart. Smash him. Boom. Penetrates turret. Boom. I'm sorry. Yanks with tanks, baby. You can't... You cannot beat Yanks with tanks. That's all I'm going to say, right? All right, so we got that. That worked pretty darn well. What next? Since we're already on Lieutenant Lintz... Going to bolster his tank here. And locked line of sight. They've got it. Okay, that's a 75 millimeter cannon. I don't like that there. Locked line of sight. You know what? That's fine. We're going to have these guys blasticate the... There. Fire! They are fine exactly where they are right now. move to the Stuart. Stuart! Not in firing arc. I'm going to move him back to here, actually. Huh. A runner races over from Wilson's 3rd platoon. Captain Sam, Lieutenant Wilson wants us to know if we can put that captured French arty to use. Says that they're just like the pieces we trained with. Well, he does have a point. Whether an artillery piece crewed by infantry will do any good is another question. Have Wilson oversee it. Wilson tests doctrine, may allow artillery reinforcement. Wilson expends remaining orders. No. Assign, no. I'm sorry, Wilson. We need you to stay focused right now. I'm sorry, man. No, because here's the deal. I need you to attack and take out the remains. I need you to clear out the infantry that's right there in the middle of Casablanca, and I need Lieutenant Wilson to do it. I don't need you to be screwing around with some goddamn artillery guys. Come on. Stay focused, men. Stay focused here. Come on. I swear to God, man. Swear to God. All right. Bloop him.
Can't see shit.
There's unblocked it. All right. Hit him again. I don't know if there's anything else I can hit here. Can I hit these guys? No, block line of sight. Can I hit that square? I'm going to target that just to see. Block line of sight. Nope, cannot do that. Okay. Well, I think Lieutenant Linz is spent and done. What about his tank up here? Can that do anything else? Yeah. Yeah, in theory it could move. But in reality, I don't want him moving next to these guys. Can we take a pot shot at them? Can't fire twice in a row. No. I'm going to actually move him backwards a little. Low gas. I don't like this low gas stuff, but whatever. Okay. We're done. Spacebar on him. Anything else in your pockets, Frenchie? You got more tanks to send our way? Hell yeah, send more French. Lieutenant Dearbow. Can we make it there? Yes, we can. Flanking morale boost. Do it. Shoot.
Frag out!
Gentlemen, follow me.
Gentlemen, follow me. Excellent. French, I saw those guys like, shoot. Apparently they couldn't do jack. Wait a minute. Well done, Dearbow. Well done. And we took the compound, too. You guys, you guys are not so bad yourself. I mean, you're not as good as first squad, first platoon, of course, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. No suppression either. Good. Locked line of sight. Okay. First squad, third platoon.
Go! Move up!
Let me get these guys here. Really? Go ahead. Expend your ammo on these guys just like I want. You got some stress, huh? I think you should take it out on Lieutenant Leader here. That's fine. All right, excellent. And we have one more squad down here. I see absolutely no reason to move down there to take those guys on.
Move it!
Move it! Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Take cover!
Okay. Dearborn done well. Dearborn's done well.
Debout!
Go ahead, rally. Come on, bring more French. Come on, Frenchies. Yeah, cheese-eating surrender monkeys. I'm just going to keep saying that, I think.
Ship fire!
All right, Lieutenant Wilson's men.
Keep firing!
This is one of Wilson's squads. It's way out of position. I could maybe start moving him up. Maybe, you know what? Actually, I could move this guy up here. And the captain could kind of manage them both. That actually could work pretty well, especially the way I'm kind of just lollygagging with everybody here. But Wilson's men's got a bit of suppression, but that's okay. All I need them to do is to scare the bejesus out of this Cav squad. Which they will. Aw, hell. Ooh, we got a scatter. Excellent, excellent. Bolster your men, Wilson.
Bully, give it to him!
Bully! Give it to him. Yes. Take them out. All of them.
Hoof it! Let's go pay for our breakfast.
I love the things these guys say. Let's go pay for our breakfast, man.
Better this way.
It is better this way. Way better. It was long ago, and it was far away, and it was so much better than it is today. Should I leave him in place? Secondary objective, secondary objective. Taking these secondary objectives is good. I mean, he's in a good position there, but I'm going to take him off the X. I'm going to move him into this square here. Yeehaw, Wilson's done. And shoot, that means these guys are just lollygagging down there. I might have the captain order them up. All right. Wilson's spent. Any more Frenchies? Any more? Bringing them on? Ooh, they're moving. Where are you moving to, guys? You're gonna try to hit us in the flank, are you? Apparently. We're gonna get the captain over here. He's gonna bolster these guys here. Rest. Oh. Removes the tired. Tired, yes. There is no leader order cost to rest a combat unit. Full speed ahead. Just get it. Take it. Oh, Christ. Objective secured. Most excellent. You know what? That's a nice secure building that he's in. We might just let that go for now. We might just let that go for now. I'm going to move these guys down to here. Just see what they can see. Darn it, the squad's facing the wrong way. I should have moved them. Didn't realize. Didn't realize the French were actually going to get off their butts and try to do something. Mission draw, men major victory. All right, excellent. I think we're going to have these guys... There's no cover there at all. Seems like something's brewing in the barracks, so what we're going to do is send them to here first. Aha! There we are. There we are. Do these guys actually do that? Can they take him? Take him. Cav squad and the acting lieutenant surrenders. Well, well, well. Too far. Darn it. Can you guys keep going, though? Can he go to there? Can these guys just keep moving? Keep moving. Keep moving. Don't stop. Just do it. Shit, shit, shit. I tell you what, first platoon is just a bunch of big goddamn heroes. That's what. And I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else. These guys are kind of... These guys are still stuck there. I should not have moved Captain St. John up to there. I'm going to send Captain St. John. I'm going to send Captain St. John up to first squad. He's going to hang with them. Is there anything else he needs to move into position first, though? He's going to order these guys around. And they're going to guard the flank for a little bit here. Yeah, they're done. That's all we need from them. Captain St. John. I don't need to deal with Wilson's squad. Wilson's going to take care of them, so he's going to move Captain St. John. You know what? I want to send Captain St. John just up here, just to see what he can see. Interesting. Somebody. Aha!
Bordel de merde!
Stop moving, Captain St. John. Stop. Oh. Shoot. Can this thing just be ordered by Lieutenant Stern is my question. Can Stern just order that to be looped? No, I don't think so. I think the captain has to do it. Meanwhile, the captain is... He's got a little bit of suppression, but there's a freaking machine gun squad right there, so he's going to gently unass the place here, I think. That's all he can do. Go there then. Fine. Did what he was supposed to do. Sixth sense reveal. Wonderful. Okay. I think he's done. The only one left is Stern. Those guys need to face That way. There we go. All right, Frenchies. Let's see what you got. Bring it on.
Faites de votre mieux.
And Stern's got a rally here. Can Lieutenant Stern order rally? Can he order him to hit something? Okay, no. No. Couldn't do anything with that. But, at the very least, you can order the machine gun to shoot these guys up a little bit. Keep their heads down, darn right. I don't know what happened to the French, but let's try there.
Hit the dirt.
Just in the off chance. Pour it on them! Alright, end of turn 6. Let's see what happens next. "14 turns left. Excellent. Yeah, no need to waste time here, that's for sure. I'm going to start with Lieutenant Wilson's men. Wish these guys could rally by themselves, but I guess not. No suppression, no suppression. Okay, these guys are doing great. So, Wilson will bolster.
We'll finish this.
We'll finish this. I think if Wilson moves to there, he'll be in position to see all of them. So that's just what he's going to do. The tanks are nearly out of fuel and therefore move slower. Ah, that's all right. That's what I figured. Can Wilson order a mortar? No, he cannot. But the captain, he can. Your radio crackles with Major Cloud's voice yet again. Bayonet 6 calling Nichols 6. Attack stalled elsewhere. You may be exposed. French forces shifting to heavily reinforce your front. Up to you whether to advance or dig in. High overhead, a solitary fighter plane makes a swooping attack with machine guns chattering. Apparently someone in the Army Air Forces did pass your message along. Some positive. We'll regroup near the estate. Breaking off the attack. Draw. No, we're not going to draw. Come on, we're winning. We are winning. We just smashed 2 of their tanks, took out a gun. Yeah, no. Continue the attack. Affirmative. Nichols 6 actual. Continuing attack. Over. Good luck. Bayonet 6 out.
Prendre pas la pipe.
Bloop him. Nice. Oh, they're under stress. That's too bad, man. I'm really sorry to Really sad to hear that, you know? That's too bad, man. That's really... I don't know what to tell you there. Sad. Very sad. Can you make it? Too far. It is too far. Can Wilson bolster these guys to make them go farther? No bolster action available. No, apparently not. Well, we're just going to run for it then. Signal from the lead tank. Not what you want to hear either. Almost out of gas. Almost. No doubt they have just enough to withdraw to safety. If you allow it. The tanks stay. We need the firepower. My God. The French may be bringing more tanks. I mean, nothing better than no better tank killer than another tank. And we didn't keep that artillery. Tanks stay. We need the firepower. End of story. Well, they're still there. They can move, just slower, I guess. Infantry's moving slower too, it seems, so that's all right. Can these guys just rest out? Yeah, I wish they could rest out some of this suppression, but I guess that would make it too easy, huh? That's a shame. I was hoping that Wilson's men would be able... Actually, Wilson could press them. If he does that, can they take him down? Yeah. Do it.
More shit for the fans.
That's right, partner. I don't want that machine gun there anymore. Take him.
Come on.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. We can do this. That's right, baby. That's right. Machine gun done. Captain St. John. All right, Wilson, you guys did a good job there. In a good position. Take that last frog out. I don't know that we need these guys hanging out here. I think they might just proceed down the lane. Continue house to house down this way. House, house, house. I mean, if the quicker we get to that... Maybe that's it. The quicker we get to that barracks, we're almost there. The faster we get to the barracks, the faster we'll resolve literally everything that we need to resolve here. So that'll be great. All right, I think we're gonna call that here. I think we're done with Lieutenant Wilson. He's spent anyway. Goodbye. Anything else, French? Anything else you want to throw my way? Let's do this. Come on. What are you afraid of? We just want to be friends. We just want to be allies again. Just give it up. Just surrender. Make things easier on everyone. The tanks are out of gas, can no longer move. All right. That's an important lesson to keep in mind for burden of command. I'm calling it right there. The tanks are burning gas as you proceed through your turn. And even though the movement is kind of choppy and one at a time, the reality is that the longer you wait, the more, you're just going to have the tanks sitting there and burning gas. So we'll keep that in mind. Tanks burn gas. We'll keep that in mind. Darn it, I was hoping that wouldn't be the case, but that seems to be how they want to play it, so fine. He moves to here. What can he say? One. What? Will you quit trying to shoot at the lieutenant? Come on. Do it. Can you do it? Ah, 50-50. That's all right. We'll just shoot him and get a flanking in there. Over there. Skirmish. Ooh, Lieutenant Leader is out of action. Ah, nicely done, guys. Nicely done. Lieutenant Leader. And we just sort of snuck around and took him in the side. Love it. Love it. Love it. He's got a little bit of suppression. Interesting. Do we need to rally? Yeah, we need to rally. That is fine. And where is the last? The last Ace of Spades guy. Here he is. He does have some suppression. He's going to stay right where he is then. Yeah, you're going to stay right where you are. No need to do anything there. These guys are done. These guys are done. Wilson. Take care of that guy. We just drive right for the secondary objective. All right. We're going to call it there.
Shit.
Who did he shoot at? The tank. I don't need to lose any tanks, right? Can't move anywhere. Can he fire at anything? No. That guy's worthless right there, unfortunately.
have
Miss-
to really work it over.
Missed, Mr. Bond. Shoot and scoot. No, he's just freaking stuck here. Darn it. That seems that you shouldn't be able to do that with the tank if he's not actually... doesn't have any gas, but whatever. That's fine. What happened? Did we take out some of the Frenchy French? Hope we did. Rally, come on. All right, there we go. Those guys are good now. I don't think they're doing anything. Dearborn's next. All right, let's go, Lieutenant Dearborn. See what we can do here. Unless the French... Oh, here comes some more French. Good, we're running out of French. Thank God. Is that our... I'm assuming that's our Air Force that's hitting them, right? Okay, Dearbo. Time for you to do some good stuff here. First, we bolster.
We shall have victory.
We shall have victory. That's right, man. Let's do this. Can you hit those guys? I feel like I should try this. I don't think there's anyone else in the area because I think Grant would have seen him, right? I mean, just do it. See what happens. Move! Ah, crud! Really?
Frag out. Forward.
I don't know how you guys did that. When they captured Captain Officer. Dearborn, you grew a pair of testicles, and I appreciate that. You really learned something from the last mission. Well done, Lieutenant. Well done. I mean, let's just keep attacking. We attack all night. We attack all day. If we are not successful, let no one come back alive. Now, having said that, where's the rest of Dearborn's men? They're like scattered out like penny packets throughout here. Are these guys? They have a little bit of suppression. You know, screw it. Just send them right down the middle. There's no one here. Double time it down the... Hold up in that house there. I gotta say, there's something in this game that makes me really want to go second. I like them spending. I like when I'm attacking and the side on the defensive spends all of its movement points, right? And then I come back and I'm just like, hey, look at that! I'm just gonna run past you guys. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, French? Yeah, why not? Freaking A. Of course. Of course. That's all right. Dearborn can engage him, and they'll just play. We'll just play leapfrog with acting Lieutenant Grant here. I hope anyway, man. There they are. There's the son of a... Does he have line of sight on that? Failed weapons range. Yeah, he does, actually. Can you hit him? Locked line of sight. Just move. Hit him now. Locked line of sight. Locked line of sight. Line of sight. I'm going to move them here. Just so the Dearborn squad has a position to get into. Wish we could use that stupid tanker for orders, but I guess not. This is the wrong one. Never mind. I think that's all we can do this round. Well, we're exposed there, but we'll get it. Captain St. John and Wilson's men are going to take down this guy here, and then they're freed up to take the secondary objective. And then Dearborn and Grant will tag team it all the way to the last one of the barracks, and we'll call it, hopefully, like 10 squares, or 10 turns to spare. Oh, God. Here we go. 13 turns left. Let's find out how this works. I guess we won initiative, huh? Nice. Well, they're moving. I mean, they're like kind of routed and demoralized and everything, so I don't know what they're exactly intending to do. But they are moving. We'll get Mr. Stern Gun up here first. If we only move into those positions, we'll be fine. So these guys, actually, we're going to position them right there.
Move that 30.
Well done, Lieutenant Stern Gun. The Lieutenant Wilson's men. They got a little bit of suppression. What about first squad, first platoon? They have no suppression. So Wilson, bolster.
Bully, give it to him.
Bully, give it to them. Up and at them.
Keep up your fire.
Keep your heads down.
Keep your heads down. Yeah, yeah.
Watch your fire. Keep moving.
Take command, Captain St. John.
Hit him hard. Watch your fire.
Yes, we got them. Just take them out.
Frag out.
Leads the way. Cav squad, acting lieutenant surrenders. Most excellent. Keeps the men together. That's right. Yeah, I got you. Tanks are out of gas, can no longer move. I saw your message. I saw all the messages you gave me. We're good. We got this, baby. Do not worry. All right. What next? All right. I think we will... We're going to terminate... any other Wilson's men need to move around. This guy here has got suppression out the ass. That's great. How about you? You're not suppressed. You're just nervous. Which, you know, you got every right to be. Veiled weapons range. You know what? You guys are just going to fall back. You're going to fall back to this defensive trench. Oh, you're already in a defensive. Interesting. Oh, crap. All right. Wilson, you're done. Move on.
La France est de notre côté.
Hey, de notre côté. Okay. No, not yet. Dearborn. First of all, can you guys actually hit him? Blocked line of sight. Can you guys actually hit him? Yes, you can. Therefore, Lieutenant Dearborn lights up with a bolster. Lieutenant Dearborn orders an attack. Shoot him. Shoot.
Steady fire!
Steady fire, men. Steady fire. We'll take a pause. Switch over to Acting Sergeant Lieutenant Grant.
Serrez vos bottes.
Oh, we see you guys. Don't worry. Come on, just come a little closer. We can open up on our machine guns here. I'm wondering, should we bolster these guys? Hail. Yeah, all right.
We're almost behind the 8 ball.
Now we are behind the 8 ball. And next turn, we take that secondary objective, assuming that we even have a next turn. But we're in position right now. Excellent. Bolster them. Can we get there in one? It says we can. But I don't like coming straight up the middle like that. I like going there, then there, then there. Ambush. MMG squad with Lieutenant Lead surrenders. Excellent. Barracks primary objective taken. You advance the French retreat. In short order. Their barracks are yours. We're not in top shape, LT. There's not enough medics for the wounded. Trying to go for the rest of the French feels like hunting for glory. We're taking the last objective. We're standing right next to it. Carry on. The French don't have a lot of tanks left. I don't think the French have any tanks left. The rest of their infantry should pull up pretty quickly. Yeah. Come on, Grant. Does that flag actually say WTF? Suddenly. So much about the French army in World War II makes sense now. Actually, no, those are Americans, aren't they? Son of a gun. Okay, well, whatever. Sure. Can they make it to the secondary objective? I think they can. Screw it. Just go it. Let's get it. Take it. Let's win this now. Keep moving. These guys are doing anything. Whatever. And yeah, we're done.
Go! Get set up!
Major victory. Major victory, sir. That's it. We're done. Major victory, we're done. End the turn, right? How come we haven't won yet? Major victory, right? Major victory. Why are we still playing? Current. Major victory. Is it just because there are too many enemies still on the board? That seems really weak. Men are at major victory. Mission major victory. Major victory, guys. Can you, I don't know, check victory conditions or something? I mean, did the French sneak in and take something back or something? What, they have a shot at seizing the walled compound? Maybe that's it. They have a shot at seizing the walled compound or something. I don't know. We're kind of spread out here. That's fine. That is what it is, I guess. But I don't know what else we are supposed to do here. Okay, there we go. The last objective is in hand. The French begin to pull back. Yeah, no, end the scenario. We're fine. The objectives that were what mattered to the battalion, now those are in hand. No sense fighting and dying, let alone disobeying orders to keep after the French today. Major victory. Major victory. Out of action report. KIA. Captain Lamb. Continue. At last, the fighting dies down. Major victory. Main objective secured before turn 10. Major victory. Casualties less than 10%. I don't think we got any losses. Consolidate the company inside the military camp. The injured are carried into the French hospital where the local doctors and nurses seem surprisingly willing to help. The dead are laid in the shade. With the base secured, you move readily from squad to squad, preparing for the inevitable French counterattack. I don't think they're going to counterattack. Lieutenant Stern sets up his machine guns overlooking a stretch of wall. It isn't long before he starts yelling for a medic. You find him staring at the form of a girl in a blue dress lying under the shadow of a tree. She would seem asleep, almost peaceful, if it weren't for the bloody ruin where her legs once were, and the emptiness in her glassy brown eyes. I don't believe in hell, but here I am. Stern's jaw is clenched in a rage. Stern acquires doctrine, idealism. Stern advances zeal. We're gonna keep you on the zealous path, I think. That's the one. The quicker we move on, the sooner the war ends. Yeah, that much I know, sir. He turns and walks away from the garden. When Stern is far enough away, you arrange for a burial detail and cordon off the area so that no one else sees the girl as she lies. Despite the beds, no one can rest. The streets echo with sporadic gunfire. That afternoon, a dozen tanks arrive, their crews eager to suck up the camp's fuel supplies in preparation for the final showdown you all know is to come. I don't think it's going to come. Big 105mm howitzers are towed in next. Then 10 trucks full of supplies come creaking in. The men eagerly load up on ammo and eat hot chow in the French mess hall. The mood is anxious, but confident. Tomorrow the men expect to be marching down the streets of downtown Casablanca. I thought we were in Casablanca. Maybe it was just a suburb. Oh well. In the wee hours, a French car flying a white flag rolls up to the gate. A French officer, a colonel no less, asks if he might speak to the battalion officer. His jaw drops in shock when he's told that you're just a single company of infantry. You send him in Dearborn along to Major Cloud. Half an hour before the jump-off time for the attack, rumors filter down. The French have capitulated on Armistice Day, 11 November 1942. Orders to occupy Casablanca without further fighting are pending. What a relief. No more losses. We could have won, we just need another... no, we're fine. A messenger arrives with a handwritten letter from Major Cloud. French will surrender. Treat them well. We'll be fighting alongside them as allies soon. Your judgment was excellent. Your initiative was excellent and judgment superior. It was only elsewhere that our results were lacking. You will almost certainly be called upon to write a formal after-action summary so that we may all profit from your company's success. At the bottom, just above his signature, are the words, "Send casualty list as soon as practical." Fortunately, that list will be a short one. The letters home to the soldiers' next of kin will be otherwise.
2 days later, the Germans invaded unoccupied France.
That just seems lame.
Whereupon Admiral Darlan, declaring Pétain a prisoner of the Axis and himself chief of state, ordered the cessation of hostilities.
Events moved swiftly.
Marshal
To
Pétain.
Algiers came General Anderson, commanding the British First Army. General Giraud took command of the French land forces. United under General Eisenhower, they were ready to take the field. Once more,
Serious
the tricolor,
Eisenhower.
the Stars and Stripes, and the Union Jack flew side by side.
News come in. Good news, for once. That afternoon, a ragged and dusty column of men wearing uniforms of desert drab tramped through the gates of the camp. Their rifles are slung on their backs. Some are angry, others confused, but they're all bone-weary. It is clear that none of these Vichy soldiers have any intention of fighting anymore. The man at the column's head, a senior officer by the looks of his sword, speaks to Major Cloud and his assembled battalion staff. Then one by one, the haggard riflemen file past and let their rifles clatter into a swiftly growing pile. Ammo pouches, helmets, and other gear get their own little stacks. These will be sorted and returned to a French armory in due course. "So it's finally over," Stern remarks, as you and your platoon leaders watch the ceremony out of the window of your temporarily assigned barracks. With grim satisfaction, he adds, "And that means we can stop this dancing around and start fighting the real enemy." "I wouldn't be so keen to get to grips with Jerry if I were you," Wilson replies, his attention only half fixed on the goings-on outside. "They were tough bastards last time, and they damn well haven't gone soft since. Dance with the Krauts before you're ready, and those jackboots of theirs will stomp you into Wiener Schnitzel." "Wiener Schnitzel?" Sergeant Grant asks quietly. "Hot dogs," Lieutenant Stern replies. "I fear that I am actually in agreement for once. Concerning this brush with war, our first taste of battle has... Well, let us be frank, gentlemen, at times it has bordered upon disaster. If we do not learn the lessons these last few days have been so kind to teach us, then... we'll prepare. Stuff is way above our... Discipline, caution, compassion. No cunning for him, huh? Let's not be so hasty with lessons. What does that even mean? Professionalism. We'll prepare. So will the entire army. Oh, I've acquired doctrine. Nice. God, I hope so. Jerry's been getting ready for this war for the last 20 years. The eye ties won't be no pushover either. Ooh, the eye ties. Nice. Stern acquires doctrine, his combat fatigue. Plus 20 in realism, plus 2. Nice. Gosh darn it! Every day we wait's another day Hitler and his mugs get to stomp all over Europe. We face what this war can do to us, and we're still on our feet, ain't we? I do not think Captain Lamb would be inclined to agree. I'm glad you said it. Let's not darken the... you know what? I need trust more than prestige. I got a lot of prestige. We can burn some of it here. Glad you said it. Dearborn nods in your direction. Stern shifts uncomfortably at the tacit exchange, while Wilson puts on a good poker face. The disarming continues. The discarded rifles become a pile. The French officers retain their sidearms, though, as a token of respect. Say, speaking of Captain Lamb, is there any word from the docks about when he might come back? He won't be coming back. An old friend passed me the word late last night. Captain's dead. Stern snap turns toward Wilson, waiting for more and dreading it all the same, but Wilson doesn't or can't say anything more about it. Stern looks to you, back to Wilson, finally to Dearborn, hoping that someone will say something. The clack of rifles being set on the ground is a mournful cadence that wafts through the open window. Some of the French soldiers on the other hand, seem happy it's all over. Those that don't wear their anger about their eyes. Either way, they shuffle off for hot food or a long sleep now that the burden is over. A letter, Dearborn says at last. One of us ought to send a letter to his wife, his widow. A few words of condolence, comfort. She's entitled to more than a war telegram. It would only be proper. Wilson gives a little cough and everyone looks his way. He'd known the captain the best and the longest, but the old man shakes his head. No, I can't do it. I'm no good with a pen. Wilson turns to you. So do the others. You grasp for words to define your company commander, your predecessor as company commander now, you suppose. You try to imagine what words would console the widow. You rack your brain. How do you distill a man down to a few sentences? How could you describe Captain Elliot Lamb? A stern but fair leader, someone who never risked his men needlessly. Good man, and a good friend, sure. The thought echoes in your mind. The others give you space to think. As the last of the French soldiers discard their rifles, the word comes to you. A pen and paper waiting in your map case. Mrs. Lamb, I regret to inform you that... Ouch. I love these little interstitials here. What do we have here? After action report. I'm sure that'll be interesting to read at some point. Not right now, though. This thing here. Oh, it's just a beat up old building. Buy war bonds. Send a female, right? Huh. All right. Age your men. Let's see what we got here. Oh, wow. Lost a few in the interim here. Combat fatigue. Jeez. Captain St. John. What do we have here? Caution. Fortuna. One for doctrine and one for discipline. I should have done discipline, but oh well. I guess the captain now doesn't retain... I guess the captain doesn't actually need to be promoted or granted XP or anything like that anymore. Okay, although... No, I take that back. He's got this down here. He's maxed out. Commanders only get trust from men victory level. Okay. Commanders only get XP from mission victory level. Experience replacements, repo depot. Assign rest. This means a few days absence, missing any battle. Oh, wow. Reduce combat fatigue by 100. Okay. All right. Casualties. It was first squad, first platoon that blew up that tank. I think we're gonna give them a little R&R. They earned it there, I think. These guys don't need it. Kinda. I'm just gonna see where we are with combat fatigue. At 100, I guess you can... Man, these guys, they just sitting behind and then just open up with the guns, right? Yeah. You guys get R&R. He's resting and recreating. I wonder where you went to R&R. I guess you just hung out in Casablanca, went to Rick's American Cafe. All right. Each existing casualty reduces morale by 1, so we will... The cost of 3 prestige, 1 replacements. All right, boom. Yeah, these guys are maxed out. We'll get them more. Yeah, they're not going to get any more at this point. Okay, so we will replace him. Stress and nervous tension. 2 loyalty. Yeah, we'll smooth out the stress. I guess that's a question here. Do I want to R&R these guys right now at 100? Like, I wish I knew every 100 points increases the risk of a combat stress reaction wherein a point of stress may be gained. Each point of stress reduces morale by 1. High stress may lead to a PTSD episode in leaders. Wow, okay. So that's not good. That's not good. And frankly, Captain St. John is right up there, but there's no time for him. We're going to wait. We'll wait on that. Lieutenant Wilson. Oh, he's just over the line. You know, you can wait. You can wait a little bit longer, I think. He's so good, though. He's going on R&R with his men. Those guys did so well. We need them. We need them to have a little bit of downtime. That's fine. Undo your changes. Send them to the repo depot. These guys have like 0 XP. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. You get utterly green troops then. Fine. Stress. $44, $251, $153, $136, $40. The cost of 10 loyalty, increased trust earned. 5 prestige. No, those guys aren't anywhere there. All right, we'll call that here. We're done. Unless he's going to. So, Lieutenant Sergeant. God, can we edit this? Ah, like acting Lieutenant Sergeant Gra. Come on, that does not seem cool to me. All mindsets inactive. He's got a compassion. And he's got a doctrine. All right, well, that explains that. I wasn't sure how that scenario was playing. I thought I was the one getting the doctrine points, but I resolved it with doctrine. I should have resolved it with compassion or something. Okay. Fine. Live and learn. I see. He's got idealism and cunning. Cunning adapts. And he's like all over the place here. Doctrine. Idealism. Zeal. Follow me. Launch a highly enhanced assault, taking no suppression and gain the significant advantage flanking. All right. Done. Let's continue. I like Captain Winter's top second from the left. Who's the girl, though? Actually, there's a couple of them. There's one down bottom right. Looks like Nurse, but I don't know who the one on the top is. And then Mrs. Free French down below with the Cross of Lorraine. Morocco to Sicily already. Wow, that was fast. Unless we're going to slug it out with Patton and Tunisia. I will attack Gala here, and the Americans will call up protecting my left.
When I got home, I learned that everybody was fighting that war. It wasn't just the sailors and soldiers and Marines. It was everybody.
Everybody.
They were saving scrap, rolls of tinfoil. They were rationing gas, butter.
Butter.
Of all things, which I'd been used to having all I wanted. and they were doing it enthusiastically. Plus, they were paying a little more tax so that they...
Champaign, Illinois. Good times. 11:20 hours, 8 March 1943, near Rabat, Morocco. The chill winter of Morocco nips at your cheeks as you jog past the 4-mile marker. Weariness is now an old friend who likes to lurk in your bones. Of course, you're not the only one suffering. The trail ahead and behind is dotted with staggering figures in olive drab. 3rd Division's new CO, Major General Truscott, demands that every man under his command be able to run 5 miles in an hour in full pack, from the lowest private to the regimental commanders. Those who can't hack it get sent to other outfits. But Truscott isn't the only change to get used to. 20 minutes, Old Man Wilson shouts from behind as he leads his bedraggled 2nd platoon on their own run. Come on, boys, you gonna let the captain beat you? He's certainly one to fire. That certainly is one way to fire him up. Captain, that's you now. The promotion was inevitable. Lamb's recommendation before his untimely death made the decision easy for regiment. The paperwork came through in January, and Colonel Macon printed the bars to your collar just before he himself was promoted to Brigadier General. You can only hope you'll measure up when Nickel Company, your company, inevitably goes into battle again. Inevitably, we will inevitably come to the inevitable decision, Paul? They won't keep us here forever. That's hard fighting over in Algeria. Corsica and Sardinia could be next. Algeria. It's hard to tell who's winning in the east. All you know is that a lot of men and vehicles are going there and fighting hard. You finished the run with 8 minutes to spare. Not bad, all things considered. However, there's no time to celebrate. First Sergeant Grant, promoted the same day you made captain, waits anxiously at the door to your CP. There's still a war on. First Sergeant. They didn't give him the butter bar, huh? That's too bad. He was the one that was kicking ass the best. I'm just saying. Grant gives a courteous nod as he approaches. No rest for the wicked. Captain, there's a few matters. Firstly, a battalion briefing scheduled for 1,200 hours. All platoon leaders and company commanders to attend. You nod. A quick word to Wilson sends him out to inform your other officers. There's the usual paperwork, but that can wait because you got a reporter asking for an interview. And the new butter bar arrived from stateside this morning to take over 1st Platoon. He's getting settled in. He looks green. Damn green. Sure he's not just seasick. Even you were green once. Well, then he better be a quick learner. God, I hope so. Otherwise, we'll be shipping him home in pieces before long. All right. Possible prestige trust. You know what? Let's see it. Let's do this reporter interview, whatever. Ah, that's who the girl is. Interesting. A light, refreshing rain begins to fall as First Sergeant Grant leads you toward the rusting fuselage of a downed bomber. The Army stripped off the important parts and the locals finished the job. Now only an aluminum skeleton and the faint outline of a white Allied star are left. You note a woman in fatigues and also a sergeant's stripes in a sheltered lee beside the wreck. Her sleeve carries the blue and white stripes of the 3rd Infantry Division. She brightens up when she sees you. Captain, do you have a moment? Of course I do, miss. What's the first rule of war? A few minutes, yes, First Sergeant Grant persuaded me. Verbosity +1. First Sergeant Grant persuaded me. I imagine he did. Grant gives himself a little shake. Captain, this is Miss Violetta Magrina, correspondent for the Prime Tribune, she says when the sergeant falters, rattling those words off as if on a typewriter. She edges a notepad out of a battered musette bag, then gestures lightly at the rain. Why don't we go somewhere out of the rain? The inside of the fuselage allows the damp smell of rain to mingle with the stench of fouled oil and rust. However, the bomb bay itself is surprisingly intact despite a leak here or there. With the catwalk and racks removed, there's enough room for the three of you to be comfortable and for the moment dry. Miss Magrina warms her hands by blowing hot breath onto them. Never knew the desert could get so cold. I noticed you're wearing sergeant stripes. The jacket's alone. The Army gave me the rank of captain as a courtesy, of course. Personally, I find that having a few stripes is better than a green correspondent's armband. This way the privates know they can't boss me around unless the shells are flying. The whole thing's a little crazy, really. I'm still a civilian, but under military authority. The Army can tell me where to go and what to cover, but usually they don't because it makes us less effective. How did you get into this trade? It runs in the family. My father writes esoteric medical encyclopedias, and my mother pens thrillers. Medical encyclopedias? Anorectal diseases. The less said about them, the better. And your mother? Writes thrillers. Ever read The Hawk, Scarlet Tango? Or maybe A Fragile Knife, a study by torchlight, assuming you like obsidian hunting spears. I know what a war correspondent does, but let's ask it to see what they say. We're the press for the Army. Sort of. We're more trusted than the official press releases because we have more access. We do get censored, but that's not really what you were asking, was it? I'm here to write stories for the people back home. Accurate, truthful, interesting stories about the men on the front lines. Sometimes they even get published. So sometimes accurate stories don't make it. Truth is the first casualty story. Truth is the first casualty of war. It is. Morale requires it. Telling the folks back home about how things really are, and knowing they can't do anything to fix it. There's no point telling my mom what I've seen. Just make her worry more, and I don't want her to know some things ever, Sergeant Grant says. So yes, there'll be some editing. What's everything? You had questions. She pulls a small wax paper packet from her pocket, which she unwraps to reveal a small notebook. With deliberate motions, she flips past the beige cover and then flips through pages upon pages of cramped notes until she finally finds a bookmarked and empty page. Her pen, silver and black, slides out next, and after a tap of the side, she prepares to write. There's just enough light coming through the cockpit windows to catch the first shift of ink upon the page. However, the wax paper stays between her and other fingers, angled to intercept any droplets that happen to fall its way. Now then, Captain, your Sergeant Jack, First Sergeant Grant here, was kind enough to relay your particulars. No need to cover that ground. She starts scratching down notes under a dry patch of fuselage. Grant gives a little cough and looks away. Current dateline is 11:40 hours, March 8th, 1943, near Rabat, Morocco. But we talking about the events of last November. Captain, your unit played a vital role in taking Cape Fadala and silencing the French coastal guns. Can you tell our readers what happened there? Play up the Army, play homage to the men. Doctor in response. We won, but the cost was high. We played it safe and won. Ooh. You know, we played it safe and we won. You know what? We're gonna stick with the cautious. So I want to promote that a little more. She makes a lengthy note. So what was it like to serve under Patton? Everyone seems to have a different opinion. He's properly called old blood and guts. Gets his men killed for good reasons. Sometimes I think he thinks we're square. Never met him. He's properly called Old Blood and Guts. He'd agree with you, I think. About the landings. Initial reports indicated numerous difficulties getting ashore. But what about your share of Morocco? I saw plenty of wrecked boats on the beach. My boat came ashore, that's it. The Navy? Infantry won the day. My boat came ashore, that's it. The Navy! Seas were calm, but the reefs remained. Interesting. I heard that the Coast Guard coxswains put in good work. Now, a lot has already been written about Casablanca. But if you would indulge me, I'd rather you... we kicked the French out of their barracks. We hit them. They hit back hard. I don't want to say they hit back hard, because frankly, we kind of pummeled them the most time. I guess there was that minor victory. The after-action reports will be good reading. We kicked the French out of their barracks. You certainly did. This makes for rousing reading, especially in light of how badly things are going in Tunisia. Tunisia? Lloyd Friedendahl. General Friedendahl really left a mess as Second Corps commander. Units scattered, British, French, and ours all mixed together. At least that's what I've heard from those who've been out there. General Hughes gave me a quote, "We have men but no organization." Hopefully Patton can change that. Rommel certainly won't wait. Patton will make Second Corps work. Patton has to be an improvement on Friedendahl. The old Second Corps commander ran things his way, terribly. Was General Friedendahl really as bad as all that? If you believe the stories, he was the worst. She let slip a shrug. He didn't want to leave a big bunker he'd been building, kept badgering his subordinates and scapegoating them, mocked the British. To hear his men tell it, he was trying to win a medal from the Germans. Things are letting up. You really didn't hold back. I doubt the censors will let this slip through. Miramar? It seems several of them were wounded by shell fragments. Well, shells don't discriminate. Lie a little. Yes, we'll lie a little bit. Miss Magrina writes down your full description of the event. She chuckles as you describe how briskly even the old German officers could run when motivated by the odd shell landing around them. Those Germans are not happy. One of them, a doctor, supposedly, protested his separation from his patients as being against the Geneva Convention. The odd thing was how quickly the brass whisked them back to the States. But those were the first German prisoners we took, so maybe there was some novelty in that. The rain lifts and a sliver of sun comes out from behind the clouds, filling the interior of the bomber with a promise of light. Miss Magrina returns her notebook to its wax paper home. Thank you very much, Captain. Maybe we can do another interview in a few months. First Sergeant Grant helps her exit, their boots squelching in the fresh mud. She favors him with a kind word and then turns and gives you a final happy and very civilian wave before she heads off to interview someone else about the war. The life of a correspondent is certainly an odd one. Hope we make print, but even if you don't, the men will know. They always know. So she's just going to walk off with your jacket, huh? It was an old one, Captain. I figure she needs it more than me. I'm surprised she wore it. He must be a charmer. Can you keep this quiet? Most of the men don't need to know. Won't the men figure it out? They'll suspect, but it's not like any of them are Sherlock Holmes in green. Combat fatigue -10. That's the one I'm taking it. I need that. You know what? Forget all about it. Well, Sergeant Grant. I see you've been resting and recreating. Very good. A few days later, your incredible depiction of events in Morocco receives widespread coverage in major newspapers. The brass is largely pleased with your bookish description of Nickel Company's trials. But your men don't have much to say about your accounting of things. They suspect that the censors had to clip certain nasty things out. Prestige, trust, realism. I don't know what this realism stat is supposed to do, but whatever. Oh, Jesus. Your new subordinate turns out to be a chestnut-haired fellow in a brand-new field uniform with duffel bag creases. His wide eyes shining bright with enthusiasm seen in schoolboys who haven't seen war. Captain! He offers a parade ground salute as he steps inside your makeshift office. Thompson, Edgar G., 2nd Lieutenant, reporting for duty. The eagerness in his expression is painful. Okay, whoever wrote this, it's not almost painful. It's painful. I know who wrote this. That's Paul Wang, a.k.a. Cataphract. You know what? Stop using the word almost. I love your writing, Paul. You're great. I love you. You're wonderful. Keep being you. But stop using the word almost. Delete it. Set your autocorrect. It's painful. Just, his expression is not almost painful. His expression is painful. Just like you used the word almost. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. End of story. Anyway. He returns you his transfer papers with a grin more suited to a kid running after a good-humored truck than a soldier headed for war. A sniper just shot me. Where are you from? Why'd you join? Will there be anything else? How'd a kid like you become an officer? Well, I'm not quite sure myself, Captain. They picked me out long after I'd finished basic training, put me in OCS. I'm still not sure why they thought I was officer material, but being a good officer is the best to serve my country. I mean to try as hard as I can. Where are you from, Thompson? Piedmont, South Dakota, Captain. It's a little town just north of Rapid City. My pa's a school teacher there. We're not really well-traveled folk. Pa was too young for the last war, so I guess it's the first time any of us have ever fought in an army before, but except for my great-granduncle. We fought for the Confederacy. We don't talk about him. Why'd you join the Army, Lieutenant? Right thing to do, Captain. I'm not one for thinking that anything's perfect in this fallen earth, but the United States of America is the closest thing to it. When the Japs hit Pearl Harbor, well, I sure as hell wasn't going to sit by and sit this one out. I'd been thinking about it beforehand, but no reason not to afterwards. Will there be anything else? Yes, Captain. They told me I was officer material, but I'd be lying like a cheap rug if I said I knew what I was doing. I don't suppose you have any advice for me? Doctor. Thompson's combat fatigue plus 20, his XP plus 25. Compassion. Follow my orders. Just shut up and do what you're told. Get a feel for the system. Your first duty is to your men. It's not enough for an officer to simply order his men around. He has to prove himself worthy of their respect and trust. That can mean giving him hot grub and rest. It can mean bayonet drills and long marches. And in either case, the principle's the same. If an officer doesn't look after his men, they're no good to anyone. I'll try my best to remember that, Captain. Here, come with me. You step outside to find your other officers already waiting, or rather, listening to a tall, rock-jawed captain. A ranger patch is sewn on his sleeve. Rangers lead the way. So he tells me if I wanted to talk to a no-good drunk, I'd look up your old man. An incongruous Harvard drawl. Maybe I should have read that first word doing the voice, huh? Let's try that again. So he tells me if I wanted to talk to a no-good drunk, I'd look up your old man. Oh, hell, Cord, did you belt him right away? Nobody insults my paw and lives. So yeah, I socked him right in the kisser. Bastard fell over flat as a bad souffle. That was a souffle, wow. I imagine he did not appreciate the fisticuffs. On the contrary, Lieutenant, he picks himself right off the floor laughing like it was just a Tuesday. Then he tells me we need fighters like me, offers to buy me a drink, invites me to join the Rangers. Wait patiently. At last, Wilson noticed you. Captain. I'd like to introduce you to an old friend of mine, Captain Cordell Boston. Captain Boston McBoston. Got you. Pleasure. Sam's told me a lot about you in the company. Good to meet you, Captain Boston. Captain Boston nods back, all business. I'm sure I've taken enough of your time. Captain, gentlemen, Sam? Captain Boston departs. Wilson chuckles to himself, then turns to you. Who's this fellow? Full introductions are in order. You introduce Lieutenant Thompson to the officers of Nickel Company, Second Lieutenant Stern, First Lieutenant Dearborn, Second Lieutenant Wilson. Thompson insists on shaking everyone's hand and talking to each, which would be fine if the briefing didn't start in 5 minutes. I hope you do not mind the rough welcome, Lieutenant. There are many new faces in the officers' mess these days. New company commanders, a new regimental commander, even a new CO at battalion. The others nod. Major Cloud had been transferred to the 9th ID long after Casablanca. He'd barely gotten to know Colonel Isanor, his replacement, before he came down with malaria and had to be invalided home. His replacement is probably why there's a briefing today. Gee. Does anyone know what the battalion commander's like? The new one, I mean? We haven't met him yet. No point speculating. Thompson nods, and the others take the hint to keep their mouths shut. There are a lot of rumors going around, but that doesn't mean you have to spread them. The Army wouldn't have sent an officer to a battalion if he couldn't do the job. The man inside the briefing tent is broad-shouldered, strong chin, and barely older than you are. It's only when you see the rank on his collar you realize he must be Colonel Heinches, the new battalion commander. Gentlemen. I know I might take some getting used to, but I'd like to avoid losing too much time to dilly or dally. The sooner you fellas know the odds, the sooner you can pass along the breaks to the men who do the work. Understood? Colonel Heinches snaps up a long wooden pointer and steps before the briefing board. There's a lot pinned up there, including a map of Europe's soft underbelly with bold Army Air Force mark upon it. Starting next week, the entire 3rd ID will begin a new training schedule. In addition to the current hand-to-hand fighting drills, the Army daily dozen and long-distance runs, we will begin amphibious landing exercises and rock climbing practice as well. If it's amphibious, then it's not Algeria. Since there's rock climbing, it's not Sardinia. If there's long runs, it's not Corsica. Okay, well, it's not Algeria. Here we are. Do you know what this bad Patton is doing? Asked Montgomery. I will attack Syracuse here, and the Americans will land here at Gala. I will proceed north to Messina, the Americans protecting my flank. Operation Husky, yes. Once the Germans are kicked out of Tunisia, our forces will combine with the British 8th Army, and together we will embark on the next step toward breaking the Nazi stranglehold on Europe. Our next thrust targets the soft underbelly of Hitler's empire. We will land in Sicily. Right, Sicily. The 7th Infantry Regiment has the honor of being its spearhead. We will fight the Italians on the beaches. We will fight the Germans inland.
In other words, we were outside of Bizerti because they bombed the port of Bizerti, the Germans did quite often, because we were about, I would say 25 miles from Bizerti. In bivouac area, and we could see the searchlights and stuff at night up there, and you could see the ack going up and breaking, and you could hear the bombs falling and everything. But it was a long way from us. I mean, but when we left. They cleaned everything out. You know, of course, Africa had fallen by that time, and because we left from the port of Bizerti to go to Sicily then.
Bizerti, Tunisia, if I remember my map correctly. Used to have a whole wall map of Europe in my bedroom. My father was a teacher at Penn State, a professor, and there's this whole wall map. It was missing Denmark, which which is kind of funny in a Donald Trump Greenland kind of way, I guess. But that was why you got it. I just took it home one day. I was like, wow, I got a map of Europe. Many a campaign was fought with a magic marker, or one of those markers that you could wipe off across the North German plain. Let's put it that way. 0400 hours, 10 July 1943, at sea. The deck of the landing craft shifts beneath your boots as you scan the dark of night. There's not a hint of land in sight. Your whole world's been reduced to this metallic bulk of a hull and the stink of salt water mixed with diesel fumes. The faint crash of waves above the ever-present din of diesel engines is the only relief from the monotony. From the enclosed wheelhouse, you watch your company assemble on the open deck before you. Wet and miserable, they form up by platoon, each bracing themselves for the battle soon to come. "All right," First Sergeant Grant bellows. "Let me go through the plan one last time for you jokers in the back. 1st and 2nd Battalion have gone off ahead to secure us a beachhead. First order of business once we hit the ground is to clear the coastal defenses off the west flank. That'll be the left side for those of you who forgot your compasses in Africa. We will be the westernmost invasion unit. Perhaps we will be part of a recon in force to Palermo." The men chuckle nervously at that. There will be no going back to Africa. If you're wondering how far we have to go, it's not far. You'll see the cliffs plain as day. They're that big. The Italians will supposedly have them all wired up, so we got to swing around and hit them from behind. "Hey, Sarge!" This comes a familiar voice through the assembled throng. "If we're going around the cliffs, what was to the ladders?" Good question. He may make corporal one day. "Battalion thinks the Navy might drop us off target." All the veterans understand. "If some of us somehow end up under the cliffs, they'll be able to climb up, unless you'd prefer to do it by hand." "Forget the climbing. I prefer a steak dinner and 3 hours alone with Rita Hayworth. Could you order that instead?" Better conversation. Morris has good taste. You know what? Morris has good taste in his movie stars. Rita Hayworth gave good face, right? A prodigious actress and dancer and favorite pinup for the men, at least those that like vivacious redheads. And some of us do. As Mrs. Coffee and Chocolate might attest, I suppose. Or maybe not attest, but prove, I guess. Anyway. Half the company bursts out laughing at the joke. Grant isn't one of them. "Our job is to clear a path inland for our AT guns. They will lock down the main highway to Agrigento. If those guns don't get there, the Krauts can drive their panzers up that road and roll up the whole damn landing. So do not fuck this up. Understood?" "Yes, First Sergeant," the private in the front calls back. Others merely nod in agreement. The sailing over from Tunisia hasn't been quick or easy. Half the men are sick or close to it. And before you can do anything about that, you have to get them to the beach. You cast a quick glance around the cramped bridge to the figure at the wheel. The Navy, in its infinite wisdom, assigned you the same guy who drove your Higgins boat in Morocco. He hasn't really been much of a conversationalist during the trip across the Med, but given how he handled things last time, you're probably in pretty good hands. A wave slams into the ship. Some of the men are tossed enough to revisit their breakfast or even dinner, but not every man. Up there at the prow is Lieutenant Thompson, standing tall amidst your old first platoon. As the landing craft steadies itself, he steadies with it. "Kid's got his sea legs." "What do you think of Lieutenant Thompson?" "I think he's a new officer." "He's not going to stay that way." "No, he won't, Captain. He'll be like we were back in Morocco, and then I guess we'll see what he's made of." Captain may occasionally lose an order. Thompson may occasionally gain morale. I'd better keep an eye on Thompson. Interesting. I'm sure Thompson will be fine. Okay. Thompson better become a veteran quick. Captain may occasionally gain an order. Thompson may occasionally gain suppression. Thompson better become a veteran quick. I want more orders for the captain. The captain with more orders can really make things happen. You resolve to keep an eye on Thompson for now, just in case he needs a hand. A glance at your map finds things in order. All the objectives are cleanly laid out. All you have to do is take them. He's landing here in the Gulf of Gala. Secondary objectives, primary objectives, final objectives. So I guess we got to take this final objective to call it a win, huh? Fine. A glance at your map finds things in order. All the objectives are cleanly laid out. All you need to do is take them. Captain, we're getting close now. Do you want to say a few words to the men before we hit the beach? Of course, First Sergeant. I'll talk to them. Company, attention! A thunder of boots pounds the steel deck in unison, drowning out the din of the engines for one brief moment. They're all yours, Captain. You stare at your men. 186 soldiers in all. They stare back at you, waiting. I'm going to keep this short. Some of the men start to relax already. Looks like the enlisted aren't much fond of wordy officers. Zeal and cunning, professionalism, discipline. Don't try to be a hero. No stupid risks. Stay alive to fight. Now let's go bag us some eye ties. I like that. The men grin and cease to shift nervously. They look to each other with a grim determination, ready to face the trials ahead. A rattle of gunfire echoes in the distance off the bow. Fog flashes silver and gold with the ghostly reports of artillery. Slivers of dawn light reveal the silhouette of the coastline ahead, and for an instant, the glare of the shell burst outlines the faint outline of a hill, a house, and a clump of trees on top of a cliff. Captain, we're at the cliffs! Lieutenant Thompson shouts. Lieutenant Wilson grabs Thompson's arm and drags him over to you. Yeah, kid, the Navy's gone off course just like Colonel Hanches figured they might. Indeed. Our situation appears to have changed greatly, and none for the better. A new plan is in order. We plan to fight and win. That hasn't changed. Thompson for suggestions. Dearborn has a plan. What do you think, Thompson? Well, we can't go up the cliffs. There's a reason we're supposed to be landing to the east of them. The Italians have got to be waiting for us. We should sit tight till the other companies can spring us from this trap. Dear boy, reasons no longer matter. What matters is what we do, and what we must do is get off that sandy stretch. Still, we might call for support to clear the cliffs before we assail them. Navy's supposed to blast the town for at least an hour, which wasn't going to be a problem since it would take at least twice as long to get over there. You glance at the map. A hurried set of revisions have been penciled in. One thing is certain. The Italians will be waiting on the other sides of the cliffs. It'll be a hard fight coming. You'll have to concentrate your forces and not get tied down in firefights against an entrenched enemy. Oh, interesting. Nickel Company in this zone here. Isolate enemy town, seize objective Mike, seize secure objective Sam, enemy beach obstacles, Thompson, Wilson, Dearborn, original landing site. No, now we're going here. Shoot. The exit draws to the right. That was the original plan. Going over the cliffs is risky, but that's where we are. The cliffs are in the way, but there has to be cover on the other side. When you look back up again, the shore is that much closer. Scaling the cliffs may be easier. The ladders will make scaling the cliffs easier. Are these the cliffs? Yeah, we're supposed to swing. I guess we were supposed to hit to the right and then swing around over here. Interesting. Coordination with the Navy will be paramount. Naval delays may be reduced. The ladders. So I guess I have to make a call here as to what I want to do. Break out the ladders to scale the cliff. Coordinate with the Navy. First things first, we get ashore. Some negative events may be avoided. I'm kind of thinking I'm just going to tell them, you know what? Let's get ashore and then we'll deal with it when we get there. But that seems like I'm going to... I don't know. Retain objective will. Retain. I wish I had a better view of what these cliffs look like and where they were. I assume we're actually hitting here, here, and here. Thompson's coming right in next to the enemy town. That's great. Do the ladders. There's only two kinds of people who are going to stay on this beach, the wounded and the dead. You brief your officer in the outline of the plan, and then send them back to their platoons to put it into motion. Wilson calls out for predetermined men to take up the ladders. Dearborn employs a quick, even, odd approach to sort things quick. Thompson leans heavily on his sergeant to get his laddermen deployed. Stern's mortar teams sling their heavy burdens and wait to follow behind the infantry. A shudder ripples through the deck plates as the bow crutches against the shore. The engines strain for a second to make sure the LCI won't drift free, slewing the ship slightly to the side. Your fingers tighten around the stock of your carbine. The ramps come down. Breakers crash against the sand. Your heart thuds in your chest. There we are. Jesus Christ, there's the cliffs. That's great. Okay. I'm going to take a quick look, and I think we're going to call it here for the night. Man, I've been playing for like 2 hours here. That's great. Those are the cliffs. And I'm guessing if I go over here, yeah, it was like a nice, easy swing around. Yeah, this. Well, there's a bunch of garbage there too, so I guess that was going to make it difficult. But so the town on the map must be this guy right here. So first objective, second objective. Oh, third objective is, man, there's no way around that. We got to spread out. Basically, Dearborn, Stern. Nah, not Stern, but it's Captain Wilson. There we are. Dearborn, Wilson. I don't know what to do with Stern. Maybe just split his men up. And then I'm going to say Thompson and the captain together go this way. Objective. Is this must be the quote-unquote final objective, I guess. Capture at least 7 objectives for a major victory. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Last question. Do we have... We got the mortar, at least. I guess we don't have any naval guns or anything. All right. I think I'm going to call it there. That was a... That was a kind of intense... Well, the combat itself at the beginning, if you saw it, was really straight up, mostly because we'd already smashed through all the French. I mean, come on, it's the Vichy French. How hard is that, right? But the narrative stuff was interesting. That's what I find most appealing about this game, is that it's not just a tactical war game, but yeah, it's a tactical war game, and it's a very unique one, focused on leadership, orders, managing your men a little bit there more than anything else. Definitely worth a look if you're just joining in. I do recommend this game, Burden of Command. So, hey, thanks a lot for watching. Really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead, like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.